cả lớp mình bật camera lên nhá. Thầy đang chuẩn bị vào.
Chào mẹ Vân và các con nha. Lớp mình sẵn sàng chưa?
Dạ rồi ạ.
Are you excited to learn? Yes. It's the second day, week 2.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we can start doing something while we waiting. Right. So anyone remember what you have learned last week? Can you please tell me? Anyone?
Last time, Miss.
Yes. What have you learned? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me, please.
We learn about the 15 vocabularies. They are debating, interlocutor, motion, debate, proposition, opinions, steel paragraphs, structure, ethos, pathos, logos, method, manner, team line, and team split.
Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. So anyone else would like to share your opinion? Yeah, let us see who's raising hand now. Andrew, yeah? Okay. Yes, Andrew, go ahead. After you, then teacher Michael will start the class.
I've just talked.
Yeah. Oh, Andrew just talked. Okay. Right. Yeah, good. Amy, would you like to share, so I just want to know, Amy, would you like to share what you have remembered since last class?
Teacher Michael gave us some topic and he asked and all the students in the class answer it.
Oh, okay, right. So here we are. Please welcome Mr. Michael for debate class of Stellar Crew. Michael?
Hello, everybody. How are we today?
Hello, Teacher Michael.
Hello,
Okay.
Hi, Teacher Michael.
Hello, everybody.
Teacher.
Okay, so today we are going to continue discussing motions, and we're going to get a little bit more in detail with them today. So, sorry, I'm just finding the, here we go. Okay, so yes, the theme of today is the themes and topics in debating. So, my lesson plan just went away. Sorry guys, just having a bit of a technical issue. Okay, here we go. Take 2. So, just to go over and recap what we covered last lesson for a few minutes, I'd like to go through the definitions, some of the definitions that we covered last week. So I'm going to just pick a few of you at random, and I'm just going to ask you for the definition of a specific word. So, can I please start with, I'll ask John first.
Yes.
Hello, John.
Hello.
Okay, so definition I would like you to give me, please, is debate.
I don't have space to write. I can only write a few words in it. And I think you
Well,
speak too fast. I can't write all. A little too fast.
I'll slow down then in future.
Yes.
But are you able to define debate for me, please?
I can only write debate is the structure of speech to argue about things.
That's very good. That is a debate. Well done. Okay, next up, let's ask Stella. Oh, okay, Stella, can you please tell me what a motion is?
What can you say again?
Can you please tell me what a motion is?
Oh my God. I don't remember the meaning now.
Ah, all right. Let's try another word then. Proposition.
Proposition. Proposition is like a person that tell like a good thing about a topic.
Very good. The proposition is the team that argues in the affirmative. So they agree with what's being debated. Well done. Okay, I'll pick two more and then we'll move on. Katie, let's ask Katie.
Yes.
Can you please tell me what matter means?
I don't remember the meaning.
Matter is the content or substance of the arguments presented in a debate. So the matter are the words you say when you debate. Okay, we'll go one more then. Thank you, Katie. And let's ask Kevin.
Okay.
Can you please tell me what pathos means?
Pathos.
That's one of the words we discussed in our last class.
I didn't remember.
Pathos is an appeal to emotions to persuade the audience. So what that means is when you're arguing in a debate and you want the audience to feel how you feel about what you are talking about. Okay, let's leave those definitions there for now. I'll post in the Zalo group, I'll post that list of definitions for everybody. Please make sure you study it. And that will make these classes a lot easier for everybody. Okay, so today we are going to introduce you to the theme and the motion of a debate. So I have prepared a document today that I will share in the Zalo group as well. Let me just open this up. So going off of our definitions, the theme is the overall topic that is up for debate. So, for example, if I was to give you the topic should genetically modified organisms or GMOs be banned? The theme of that topic would be science, because GMOs or genetically modified organisms, they are like fruits or vegetables that get specially designed in a lab so that they can be easier and cheaper to grow, or so that they can be resistant to certain types of insect attacks and pesticides. So what we are going to do here we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the theme a little bit. So if I give you a topic, let's try and discover what the theme of the debate is about, okay? So let me bring up my list of debate topics. Okay, so if the topic of the debate is, does money lead to happiness? What do we think the theme of the debate could be? So if you think you know, put your hand up and I will call on you. Luna.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, hi. And I think that the theme would be happiness or money, maybe both.
Very good. You could
Right.
make arguments for both themes. It could either be the topic of, it could be the theme of happiness and quality of life, or it could be money or finances. Very well done, Luna. Thank you.
By the
Good
way,
job.
you
Yes.
called me rabbit last lesson.
Ah, your name has changed to Luna Black today.
Yeah. That's what I want to be called.
Okay, well, last lesson it said rabbit, so that's why I called you Rabbit. Okay, let's pick another one, and I'll ask Andrew.
I think
I'm going to give you a different topic. I'm going to give you a different topic this time. Should a single person be allowed to adopt a child? If that is the topic, what do you think the theme could be?
I think the theme could be no, because I think that a single person can't do anything with a child. Also, it's not very true. And a child is very playful, so a person can't do that.
We're not making arguments at this point. We're just discussing the theme of debates. So if the topic, come back. So if the topic of the debate is, should single parents be allowed to adopt a child, or should a single person be allowed to adopt a child, what do you think the theme of the debate could be?
I think the theme of the debate is about parents or single person should adopt a child or not.
So the theme would be parenting, or another potential theme could be child welfare. So is it in the child's best interest to be adopted by a single parent? So the other potential theme could be, yeah, child welfare or parents' rights. Very good, Andrew. Thank you for your input.
You're welcome.
And okay, we've got time for one more. Who would like to have a try at guessing the theme? Put your hand up. Okay. Didn't you just answer one a couple of times ago, Luna? Let's give someone else a go. All right, I'm just going to call on Tom for this one.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, Tom. Okay, so if the topic is, are zoos beneficial to animals and their well-being, what would the theme of the debate be?
I don't understand.
So is, I'll rephrase, is being kept in a zoo good for animals? That's the topic. What would the theme of the debate be?
I think animals shouldn't be kept
I'm,
in a zoo.
I'm not after an argument at the moment. We're trying to think about what the theme of a debate would be. So animals being kept in zoos is the topic. What would the broader theme be about? It's something to do with animals.
Something to do.
So animals being kept in zoos is one topic. Another topic within the same theme could be, is it all right to do medical testing on animals? So what is the theme of those two topics? Have a guess? The theme would be animal rights, because animal rights as a theme can cover many topics, like should we keep animals in zoos, or should we do medical tests on animals? Does everybody understand that the definition of theme, or does everyone understand what we've been talking about in regards to theme? Just put some messages in the chat, say yes or no. Good, Luna. Everyone else, can you put a yes or a no in the chat, please, if you understand? Stella, maybe. Okay, good. Everybody else, yes or no in the chat, please. Good, Katie. George, no. Andrew, very clearly, good. John, yes, good. Okay, so to help you understand theme a little bit better, I'm going to wrong thing. Share. I'm going to put up a whiteboard here, and hopefully I can draw some pictures to help illustrate the point a little better. So we have the there we go. We have the theme at the top. So in this case, it would be animal rights. I apologize for my messy writing. I'm writing on a touch screen here. So the theme is animal rights. So from the theme, we can get a few different topics. So the two topics that we discussed already were should animals be kept in a zoo? Is it healthy? And the second topic that we discussed was should we perform medical tests on animals? So everybody, if you think of a third topic to do with the theme of animal rights, put up your hand and let's hear it. I can't see anybody right now, so I'm just going to pick somebody off the list here. So let's ask Jenny. Jenny, are you there?
Yes.
Hello. Do you have another suggestion for a topic on the theme of animal rights?
I don't know yet, but I'm still thinking.
Okay, well, we'll come back to you a bit later then. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, Luna, you're next in line.
Oh,
Can you think of another topic on the theme of animal rights?
Yeah, I think it is. Should the animals be whipped?
Could you say that again? Sorry, I didn't hear you very well.
Should the animals be whipped?
Ah, so should
Animals
animals
be whipped?
be whipped? I'll just add a couple of words there, or punished for bad behavior. Okay, so very good. Thank you very much, Luna. That was very good. So now here we see with my rather messy diagram that the theme of animal rights can be broken down into many different topics. So for example, should animals be kept in a zoo and is it healthy for them? Or should we perform medical tests on animals? Or should animals be whipped or punished for bad behavior? So we see that all three of these topics are asking very different questions, but they are all to do with the same theme of animal rights. Okay. Very good, everybody. So just throw the, so just go back to the chat now and just put yes or no if you understand themes so we can move on. Good, Kevin. Good, John. Stella, yes, very good. Luna, good. Tom. Very good, everybody. Terrific. I'm glad I could explain that better for you. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic. So can I please get everybody now? We're going to brainstorm some debating topics. Now, I know so far that we have already discussed some debating topics, so try and pick some new ones. Try not to list any of the ones that we've already talked about so far. So I'm going to bring the whiteboard back up here. And if you have a debate topic that you can think of, put your hands up and list it out to me. Or in fact, okay, Luna, what is an idea of a debate topic that you have?
Well, mine is, let's see, should fossil fuel is good.
Could you say that again? Sorry, should we?
Should we use fossil fuel?
Should we ban the use of fossil fuels? Very good. Thank you, Luna. Andrew.
Okay.
What's a debate topic that you can think of?
Should we be kind to other people?
Should we be kind to other people? Very good. Thank you, Andrew. Can anybody else think of some more debating topics? We've got two good ones here. Who would like to add to the list? Throw your hands up and I'll call on you. We have Kevin. Kevin, what's your debate topic?
Are students given too much homework?
Are students given too much homework? I hope you can read my rather messy writing. That was a good one. Thank you very much. Amy's got one too. Hello, Amy.
Yes.
What is a debate topic that you have thought of?
It's kind of like some topic that you asked some student last time. Do children need to learn how to swim?
Ah, now that is actually a different question to the one that was on the list. Very good. Do children,
Okay, thank you.
you're very welcome. Do children need to learn how to swim? Very good, thank you. Andrew,
Okay.
what's your debate topic for this list?
Should we make space travel more common and easier?
Should we make space travel more common, cheaper, and easier? Very good, guys. So that is actually a very good list that we've got here. So, John would like to add one. Well, this will be the last one on the list. So,
Yes.
John, what is your debate topic?
My debate topic is, should the rocket when we travel to space be smaller?
Ah, that's a good one. Should rockets be made smaller? Okay, well done, guys. That was very good. So, as you can see here, this is a very good list of debating topics. The questions cover a specific, the questions cover a specific theme. They are direct and they make you think about both sides of the argument. So, very good. All right, I am back. Okay, so I have prepared a few example debating topics. They are debating topics that are from the list that we talked about last week, but I've gone into a bit more detail with them to be able to discuss the motion and some potential arguments, both for and against each topic. Oh, quick question from Katie. Yes, Katie.
I have a debate.
You have a topic you'd like to add?
No, I have a debate.
Pardon?
I have a debate topic.
You have a debate topic. I'm going to write that down on a sheet of paper here and I'll add it to the list. Okay, what is your debate topic?
Should trash be bring to landfills?
Should trash be thrown into landfills? Now that is a very good debating topic. That one would spark a lot of conversation, and I would love to hear some arguments for that presented in a debate. Thank you very much, Katie. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And as we can see here, here is the document. So we've got some example debate topics. So topic number 1, should schools require students to wear uniforms? Now, if this was the topic of debate, we discussed the motion last week. Now, the motion would be stated like this. So it would be the job of the first speaker of the proposition or the affirmative team. It would be their job to state the motion, and they would say something like, this house believes that schools should require students to wear uniforms. So they set the tone and the topic for the debate with their motion. And then throughout their team's turn to argue, they could make some potential arguments in favor of the topic, such as school uniforms promote a sense of equality among students, regardless of their socioeconomic backgrounds. So that first argument is saying that because everybody has to dress the same, it doesn't single anybody out if they are maybe a bit poorer than some of the other students and can't afford clothes as nice as them. So everybody has to wear the same, so nobody feels left out and everybody feels equal. Another option might be it reduces distractions and peer pressure related to clothing choices. So one of the very big things in school that I remember was when we'd hang out with our friends, we would, everyone would always have to wear the newest cool clothes, and kids that didn't wear the new cool clothes that had come out, we'd often make jokes about them. And sometimes it happened to me, I'd get jokes made about me. Sometimes it had happened to others in the group and it would happen to them. So by wearing a school uniform, it reduces the distractions, so people aren't so worried about what everybody's wearing. And it reduces the peer pressure, so nobody's getting made fun of for what they're wearing because everybody's wearing the same thing. It fosters a sense of belonging and school pride. So one positive thing about a uniform can be that because everybody is wearing the same thing, everybody can feel like they belong to the same school and like they're one big group of friends. Everybody's the same together. And it can also foster school pride. So if you have a nice uniform that you wear to school and you're walking to school or coming home from school and people see that uniform and they think, wow, that's a nice uniform, that can make you feel good about going to that school. And so that can foster a sense of school pride. You're proud to be a student at that school. And another argument for in favor of the motion is that it enhances safety by easily identifying individuals within the school premises. So if you walk around, so other than teachers that you know and see around the school, you get to know them, so you recognize them. But other people that aren't wearing the school uniform, it can make you wonder what they're doing there and whether they're there to do good things or bad things. So by everybody wearing a school uniform, they can easily identify people and know that they're supposed to belong know that they belong at that school. And so it just makes it safer for everybody. Now, on the other side of the argument, we have arguments against wearing school uniforms. So number one, for example, it can limit individual expression and freedom of choice. So I remember when I went to a private Christian school when I was 14 years old, our school uniform, we had to wear nice button-up shirts, we had to wear a tie, a blazer, and nice long pants. So our school uniform was very much like a business suit. And I wore it every day because I had to, but I didn't feel comfortable wearing those clothes. I was always the kid that preferred to wear a t-shirt and a pair of baggy shorts. So if I had have had my choice, I would have worn very different clothes, but we had to wear the school uniform, so I wore what I was told to wear. Another argument is that uniforms can be costly and create additional financial burdens for parents. So if a student is lucky enough to get into a good private school, not all parents are able to easily afford the cost of education, of that high quality education for their children. And every cost related to attending that school can be another financial burden for their parent. So it means that they have to work so much harder to make the money to be able to afford to attend the school with the school uniforms as well. Number three, it does not address the root causes of bullying or behavioral issues. So what that means is that while a lot of children can get made fun of for the clothes that they wear, they can get bullied or picked on for the clothes they wear. The truth is that there are a lot of other causes for bullying, and it just so happens that the bully may choose to make fun of the child for what they're wearing, but that does not address the real causes of the bullying. So it's just, so it doesn't solve the problem basically by forcing people to wear school uniforms. And the last argument against is it imposes a standardized appearance that does not reflect students' diversity. So what that means is that because everybody looks the same, that doesn't reflect how students feel on the inside. Like everybody's different. So Kevin is different from Tom. Amy is different from Luna. You like different things. You do different things. And everybody having to wear the same clothes does not necessarily enjoy wearing the same thing. So it doesn't allow students to reflect who they truly are and who they truly want to be. So I'm going to come back to you for just a quick moment. Did those arguments make sense to everybody? Put a yes or a no in the chats. Good, fantastic, guys. Good. Looks like Kevin really, really super understood that. Very good. Okay. Good, very good, guys. Now, truth be told, that those arguments that I presented, I agree with some of them. I disagree with some of them, but I don't just disagree with, for example, all of the arguments in favor of the motion. and I don't disagree with all of the arguments against the motion. So I actually agree with a couple of arguments on both sides of the motion. So just reminding you that when you are engaged in a debate, you don't actually have to agree or disagree with the topic that is up for debate. Sorry, whether you agree or disagree shouldn't determine what side of the debate you're on. The debate should give you a chance to think about issues from other perspectives. So this is really going to give you a good chance to broaden your thinking horizons. Now we're going to go back into those example debates, and I'm not going to give as detailed explanations this time. I'm just going to read out the arguments in favor and against. So topic number 2, should genetically modified organisms or GMOs be banned? Remembering that the GMOs are fruits and vegetables, sometimes even meat products that have been scientifically designed in a lab to be able to survive in different environmental factors. So they can design, for example, some strawberries, they might be able to design them in a way that they can survive in colder climates where strawberries normally thrive in hotter climates. So for the topic, the motion would be presented by the proposition as, this House believes that genetically modified organisms or GMOs should be banned. And some arguments in favor of that motion are potential health risks associated with consuming GMOs. Another argument could be the negative impact on biodiversity and ecological balance. Number 3, unforeseen long-term consequences of genetic modifications. And argument in favor number 4, banning GMOs would protect small farmers and promote organic farming practices. Some arguments against banning GMOs could be, there is an increased crop yield and food production to meet growing global demands. So as the population of the earth increases, GMOs allows farmers to grow more food to feed more people more quickly. GMOs have an enhanced resistance to pests, diseases, and environmental conditions. GMOs can have improved nutritional content and potential to address food insecurity. So yes, we can design certain foods to have more vitamins, minerals, and nutrients in them, so we can actually make foods healthier. And we can address the food insecurity by making these foods more resistant to bad conditions, so that there's less chance that the crops will fail. And number 4, scientifically proven safety measures and regulatory frameworks are in place. So there are some very strict rules around growing GMOs. And they're there obviously to keep people safe when they eat the GMOs. So that was topic number 2. Don't worry, I'm going to send you all of these documents today. And I'll also send through that list of definitions for you to study too. Now, after exploring the example debating topics, what I want you guys to do, we're going to go through them one at a time. And we are going to discuss topics. Actually, sorry, no, we're going to discuss topics from the examples that you guys gave me before. And we're going to have a go at analyzing the topic. And we're going to identify possible arguments for both the proposition and the opposition to the argument. Okay. Now, our first argument that we're going to discuss, and I'm going to, so everybody make sure that you have a pen and paper and you can take notes about what we discussed. So our first topic is, should we ban the use of fossil fuels? So who would like to have a go at analyzing the issue? That was your issue, wasn't it, Luna? That's one of the issues that you presented. So it will give somebody else a chance to analyze it. So, Andrew.
Yeah.
What do you think about the issue of fossil fuels?
I think we should ban from using it.
Pardon?
We should ban from using it.
Okay, so you're immediately taking the stance that we should ban fossil fuels. Okay, so let's talk about the issue a little bit before we immediately go jumping into whether we want to ban or not ban. So what is the issue of fossil fuels? So tell me a little bit about what you know about fossil fuels, how they're created, how they're used. We're going to go right back and work out this argument before we work out whether they should be banned or not. So what are your thoughts, Andrew, about fossil fuels? What are they? How do they work?
I think fossil fuel can damage the air.
Yeah. So we're not looking for arguments just yet. We're looking at the issue itself. So tell me what you know about fossil fuels.
Okay, fossil fuels are the natural gas or oil that form from the remains of animals or plants millions of years or thousands of years ago.
So they come from fossils, both bones and plants. Very good. Thank you, Andrew. I also see John with his hand up. John, can you tell me something about fossil fuels?
Fossil fuels is a kind of fuels that we are using mostly today. They're using on run electricity turbines to make electricity for us to use, and other things. I know. All the transportation that we're using today are from fossil fuels. Fossil fuels fossil fuel are made from a long time ago at the bottom of the sea.
That's right. So Andrew pointed that out for us and said that it's they come from fossilized bones and plants that are millions of years old. You've said that they are used to run electricity turbines and the majority of our transport that we use. Very good. Who else would like to add something about fossil fuels? Maybe somebody would like to mention some of the effects that they can have on our environment. All right, Luna, I see you with your hand up. We'll get you to talk about this bit. What are some of the effects that fossil fuels can have on our environment?
Well, oil leaks can harm animals, and the gas from the burning those fuels can escape to the environment and Because of the greenhouse effect. That can heat up the earth.
Can cause the greenhouse effect. Heating up Earth. Very good. Thank you, Luna. Whoop, we've got John and Andrew back in line. Andrew, you're first in line again this time. What's another thing you'd like to add to the issue?
Okay, I think that fossil fuels can produce bad air that we can't breathe, and sometimes it can make some real large major fire if we have a problem with the factory that make fossil fuel into electricity. And sometimes we can dig in too much fossil fuel that cause to no fossil fuel, and maybe earthquakes can be made and the ring of fire will explode.
All right, so you added in that the bad emissions can cause poor air quality, and mining the crude can cause earthquakes. Okay, John.
Yeah, so in the factory they're using fossil fuels, and the transportation we are using today blast out the CO2, which is causing global warming and climate change.
Okay, very good. So we've got here it causes harm to the environment. We had somebody else before say that as well about the greenhouse effect, and that you've added in it can cause global warming. Okay, so just as a little bit of a thought exercise, can anybody tell me maybe one or two positive things about fossil fuels, maybe what we can use them for, or yeah, somebody tell me something good about using fossil fuels. Andrew and John are back. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to offer about fossil fuels? I'm going to let Tom go first on this one, just because he hasn't said anything about this part yet. Then we'll come to you two boys. Tom, give me something good about using fossil fuels.
I think fossil fuels, people use them to boil water to make hot water for us to use.
So we can use the fossil fuels to create natural gas, and that can be used to heat up things on the stove, cook food, boil water. Very good. Thank you, Tom. Okay. Next in line, Andrew.
Okay, so fossil
Something
fuel
good.
can use to make petrol or gasoline that make cars run, and it can also make electricity, and that makes our light turn on. Without it, we may not see anything.
Okay, so you've got it creates petrol that can make cars run and power electricity plants. Thank you, Andrew. And John, your hand was up, so I'm going to call on you. What is something good about fossil fuels?
I think Andrew has talked all about it. I'm going to talk.
You were going to say the same thing that Andrew did. Okay. So now that we have discussed, about fossil fuels, what we're going to do, this class is going to run a little bit longer today, guys, don't worry. We're nearly there. So let's now discuss or try and come up with some potential arguments if we were to have a debate about banning fossil fuels. So let me get my whiteboard back up here. Okay, so okay, there we go. So banning fossil fuels. So this would be the debate topic. And we're going to divide our whiteboard in two. So this side on the left is going to be for the proposition. And the other side will be for the opposition. Okay, so I like that, Tom. One side could be banned, the other side could be burned. All right, quick question for you guys. If the topic is banning fossil fuels, would the proposition team be ban or burn? Just put it in the chat so I can see. Just a quick little test. Very good. So ban would be for the proposition. So then everyone, which the opposition then would they be ban or burn? Now I'm asking for the opposition. Would they be ban or burn? Very good. Very good. Opposition would be burn. That's right. Actually, I'm going to add that in because I like that. Okay. Now, can I get people to put their hands up? Use the raise hand thing. And we're going to come up with some arguments for either side. So who do I have first? I have Andrew. Andrew, can you please give me an argument? You can pick the side you want to add to, but just give me an argument and tell me which side you want it to be on.
I want to be in the proposition side, which is the banning side.
And what's your argument?
My argument is the air quality will be bad every time we burn it, and that is and mining fossil fuels can create earthquakes or other other natural disasters.
So, okay, so one argument at a time. So burning fossil fuels destroys air quality. Very good. Thank you very much, Andrew. Stella. Hello, Stella.
Hi.
So which side would you like to add an argument for? Proposition or opposition?
I will go for the proposition.
Opposition, so you want to keep, so this argument will be in favor of fossil fuels?
Yes.
Okay, and what is your argument, Stella?
I think it can make earthquake earthquake and a lot more problems. And sometimes, but for short, I just talk like Angel because my ideas are just like Angel.
Okay. So mining for fossil fuels can create environmental problems like earthquakes. Very good. Thank you very much, Stella. Well done. Okay, John has an argument that he'd like to offer.
I'm
John?
on the proposition, the banning, the proposition.
You want to make an argument for the proposition to ban fossil fuels?
Yes. So
Okay.
burning fossil fuels let out harmful gases, harmful greenhouse gases that can cause climate change and global warming.
So burning fossil fuels can cause climate change. Okay, now I think I am detecting a very strong favoritism of banning fossil fuels, but remembering that the point of debate is at this level, at least, when we're learning to debate and having practice debates, the purpose of this is not to argue what you truly believe because it's too easy. So the purpose of learning to debate at this level is to explore both sides of the argument so that we can, yes, Tom, we're nearly done, don't worry. So the point of debating at this level is to learn to explore both sides of the argument because you might logically come across a point of view that you'd never considered before. Excuse me. So can I get a few people? Tom, you're not dying. Can I get a few people to argue for the opposition? So people to argue not to ban fossil fuels. Andrew, do you have an argument for the opposition?
Yes, I just go for the proposition, but I think I can go for the opposition. So I think the opposition, the strongest I can think is it creates many cool stuff and machines that we use today. Without we don't have any electricity to use, or we don't have hot water for the winter, and we may die because of coldness.
So I'm just going to write FF for fossil fuels now. So fossil fuels allow us to run electricity to use appliances and keep safe, warm, and healthy. Very good. Now I'm actually going to add another argument for the opposition, and it's that the crude oil that fossil fuels come from is used to create many things we need. So the oil that gets mined, that gets turned into fossil fuels, actually is used to create many plastics for containers. It's used to create all sorts of parts for many of the appliances that we use. So yes, without the use of fossil fuels, our world would probably look very different than it does today. Yeah, guys, please calm down. Stop going crazy in the chat. Does anybody else have an argument that they would like to add for the opposition side of the debate? Remembering this isn't something that you don't have to believe. Tom, behave. We get it. Class is nearly over. So does anybody else have an argument they'd like to add for the opposition? Oh, bless. Okay. Tom, stop it. Stop acting up. Behave yourself. So, only got a couple of more topics to talk about now, and then you can go and get something to eat and stop carrying on like a pork chop. Okay, so we can see that there, and I'll type this up and send this document out to you guys as well, so we can see some of the arguments that we've created. So next, we only have a couple of more things to go. So can I get a couple of students to offer up their debating motions, the homework from Tuesday class? Andrew.
I talk about my homework.
Yes, the homework that you had from Tuesday.
Okay, so my motion for the homework is, should we make space travel more common, cheaper, and easier?
Yeah. So what would your motion be for that debate topic?
My motion will be the proposition. And I think that we should make it cheaper, easier, and more common.
Yep. And so can you give me your arguments for the proposition, please?
Okay, so with it, people can fly more, and then they can learn more about space, and they can find another planet that can support life and settle them, and we can lead to new invention, and we can help us learning about asteroids, because we don't want to be like a dinosaur, be hit by asteroid and then extinct.
Very good. Do you have any more? Or any arguments for the opposition of space travel?
Yes.
Can I hear your arguments for the opposition, please?
Okay, it costs a lot for a human to travel to space, and if we stay in space too much, the oxygen quality or the air quality in our body will decrease, and then we may die. We might we might land on a planet that has a very strong or very weak gravitational force, and we might jump to space and then die in space, or we can't even move, and that planet is usually very hot, and we can die in there too. So that is not very safe.
Very good. Thank you very much, Andrew. Well done. Who else would like to present their homework for the class, please? Just one more person. I'm going to pick Tom, seeing as he's been acting like a little monkey. So Tom, get your homework out, please,
Yes.
and tell me the debate topic that you chose.
My debate topic is, should students went to school by themselves?
So should students travel to school by themselves?
Yes.
Okay, now can you please present the motion of your debate topic, please? No, he's not a monkey. He's just been acting like a monkey, Katie. Sorry, Tom, go on. What was your motion?
I don't know what motion.
So the motion is the statement. So if you were on the proposition side of the debate, your motion would be this. So let me double check my. So the motion would be, this house believes that students should travel to school independently. Or this house believes that students should travel to school by themselves. So can you please give me your arguments for the affirmative?
Arguments. It is student went to school by themselves. When they go to school by themselves, they can meet lots of their friends on the way to school.
Yep. Any more?
And the students can control the time going to school.
Good. Do you have any more?
Walking or running to school is an exercise that can it can improve the health.
Very good. Now, how about your arguments for the opposition?
The oppositions, my motion's pretty weird, but I have to say that if the students was walking alone in a very less people area, they can get lost or being kidnapped.
Yep. Very
I
good.
have some cases like that.
Do you have any more arguments for the opposition?
Yes.
Let's hear them.
Students' house can be very far and can make students very tired on the way to school.
Very good. And do you have one more?
If the weather wasn't so good, like raining, the students can't go to school. It's rain.
Very good. Thank you very much, Tom. Well done. So now that we've discussed a couple of examples, I'm going to answer a few questions. If anybody has any questions for me, and then I've got a little bit more homework for you to do before next Tuesday. Miss Stella.
So what do you like about space travel?
What do I like about space travel? I think it would be really cool to float around in space, be able to look out the window and see the entire planet Earth. I think that would be a very beautiful thing to be able to see.
And what don't you like about space travel?
the fact that it is still even though it's been happening since I think the 1960s, it's still a very new technology. So I find it, I think it would be quite scary to go up there, and I'd be scared that the rocket would explode and I'd die in space. I think that would be a scary thought.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Stella. John.
Yes. So I've got a survival question for you. What will you do if you are cramped your feet on the moon for 50 days?
What would I do if my feet were stuck on the moon for 50 days?
No, what do you do if you are stuck on the moon for 50 days? Your rocket was exploded and broken.
Oh, like exploded, like blown apart, or the engines just don't work to take off?
They all explode apart.
Oh, so I have no food, no water, no resources.
What do you do for 50?
If that's my situation and the rocket has exploded and I'm stuck on the moon for 50 days with no food, no water, no resources, I would just take my helmet off and die quickly. I would rather die quickly than starve to death over the course of about 6 days.
Oh my God.
Well, what else can I do? I don't have any food to eat. I don't have any water to drink. What else could I do? I mean, I'm either going to starve to death slowly, or I just take my helmet off and my head goes.
You use your IQ and go back to
You know there are some small bases on the moon.
There are some small bases on the moon.
Yeah.
Well, now I know that. I would at least attempt to find some of those bases and try and live off the resources in those. Okay,
yes.
that changes my answer slightly. That changes my answer slightly. Thank you, John. That was a very interesting question.
But I think you will like die before you can find a base.
No, now I know there's bases there. I reckon I'd be able to find one. Anyway, thank you.
I think
thank you, boys. I'm going to call on Andrew now for the last question. Oh, and Katie's got one too. Last 2 questions. Yes, Andrew.
Okay. And I want to ask, what if you do in the core of Earth? I mean, the gravitational force pull you to the core of Earth or sometimes to another planet. What can you do?
Could you say that again? Your microphone was very, very echoey. I couldn't hear properly.
I said, if you are pulled down to the core of Earth by the gravitational force, what do you do?
If you're pulled down to the core of the Earth from the Earth's gravitational forces, what would you do? I don't think there's a whole lot I could do. I mean, if we're talking about the normal gravitational pull of the Earth, then I would just continue living my life as I am, because I'm being pulled down to the core of the Earth right now, just not so strong that I actually go down there.
What if you're too heavy?
But if it was super strong gravity that's actually pulling me closer to the center of to the core of the Earth, then I would probably try really hard to find something to hold on to as I'm traveling down to the center of the Earth, and hopefully I wouldn't get down there. Either that, or I would just have to accept my fate and just boil alive, burn alive.
Or maybe there's some fire in the cold Earth. Why don't you roast some chicken and you eat?
Because if I'm getting pulled to the core of the Earth, that is extremely hot, and I don't think it would roast or fry the chicken. I think it would just burn it to a crisp along with me.
And then
Oh,
someone will eat your meat.
I don't think there'd be any meat left to. I don't think there'd be any meat left to eat. I think I'd just cremate and turn into a pile of ashes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Last two questions now, Katie and Kevin. Then that's it. Then I've got some homework to give you. So Katie, you're next in line.
What if you go to the space for 50 days but you have some food to eat, you packed up already?
Oh, well,
Then what do you do?
if I traveled to the moon for 50 days and I had packed food and water, I would have a fantastic holiday. I would stay on my rocket ship to eat and drink so I could take my helmet off and be able to breathe.
But
then I would spend most of my time in my spacesuit with my helmet on, and I'd just go jumping all around the moon. I think that would be a lot of fun.
But if you're in a rocket, your food will float around.
Say that again, sorry?
But what if you in the space rocket and your food just float around?
I would make sure to keep the food securely fastened so it wouldn't just float around the spaceship. I would make sure to only pack very dense, heavy foods because there's actually a list of special food that the astronauts are allowed to eat, because anything like potato chips or breadcrumbs, once it gets loose and floats away, it can go into the machinery, into the electricals, and destroy the rocket ship. So I would just have to be very, very picky with the food that I ate and make sure I kept it fastened securely away so it couldn't float away. Thank you for your question, Katie. Okay, Kevin, last question of the class.
If you have one wish, what will you wish?
Oh, that is a good question. I think I would wish for magic powers.
Well, why did you not wish for more wishes?
Because that is usually the one wish that you're not allowed to wish for. If you talk to, or if you see any genies in the movies or in comic books or anywhere you see them, they will always say the one thing you cannot wish for is more wishes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, it's time.
I would wish for infinite wishes, or
You can't.
I will, or else the genie will have to die, or else I
No.
will wish for the genie to die.
Oh, that is so mean. Neither of those wishes could come true, though, because it's in the genie rules. You can't ask them for more wishes, and genies are magic, immortal beings that cannot die. So you couldn't ask for more wishes and you couldn't kill the genie. So, okay, guys, time for your homework. So,
Goodbye, teacher.
I've got to give you homework first before you go. You're almost out, don't worry. So, your homework for today is to get ready for next class is to find homework. Find homework. Your homework is to find supporting evidence for your chosen debating motions. So I want you to research both sides. So both sides of arguments that you've created. So you're going to find research for both the proposition and the opposition of your argument. And I want you to expand on your arguments. So you're going to get more in depth with the arguments that you've created. Okay, so that is your homework. Do some research and expand on all the arguments on both sides of the debate. Thanks for spending some extra time with me today, guys. I had some fun talking about space travel and
Some funny
lunar
jokes.
killing genies. That's it, and lunar killing genies. Oh, you did not almost die, Tom. You can go and get something to eat now. Thanks very much, everybody. I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bye.
Teacher Michael.
Bye, Teacher Michael.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Teacher
Bye-bye, guys.
Michael.